I want to react to this Klay Thompson news. He just signed with the Dallas Mavericks, $50 million over 3 years. Let me say this was the right decision to me, in my opinion. I saw the other teams that was linked to him, the Clippers, Lakers. The Clippers just lost Paul George. There's a lot going on with Kawhi. I'm actually making a video about that I'll put out within the coming days. And because of Kawhi's unfortunate health injuries and things that he's going through, I don't see that as a good fit. I believe they would have had to rely on Klay Thompson a lot more. And because he himself, due to injuries, is not what he once was, still a great player, but not exactly what he was in his prime. And he's admitted to that himself. There would be moments where undoubtedly it would look like, all right, you're expecting Klay Thompson and James Harden to really step up. And even James Harden himself, he is more taking a backseat as just strictly a point guard as opposed to going out and scoring 30 and 40 like he did in his days in Houston. And on top of that, no disrespect to Klay whatsoever. Hall of Famer, great player. But if you lose Paul George and then you sign Klay, that's not necessarily an upgrade to me. I would still rather have Paul George on my squad. And as you see, even with Paul George, they were still having issues and trying to get things right, win that championship. So clearly, at least to me, that wasn't a good fit. If you want to compare between the two LA teams, Lakers would have been a better option. I like the idea of him playing with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. I think they're more consistent and even healthy. It's just with LeBron James at 40, you always got to keep in mind at any moment a steep decline can happen where he takes a step back and he doesn't look at all the same anymore, given his age in the 21 years. It's just always a possibility. You can't ignore that, and that would put even more pressure on the Klay. He needs to go to a team where he could clearly just step back and let guys do their thing and there's no worry whatsoever. That's why I love this fit with the Dallas Mavericks. They're just coming off of an NBA Finals trip. They got two clear superstars who could go out there and score. You don't have to rely on Klay to get you over 20 points a game every single night. He's an off-ball player. He does not need the ball in his hands a lot. He doesn't need to be dribbling. As we all know, most of Klay's points come off of just one or two dribbles. That's perfect since Kyrie and especially Luka already dominate the ball so much. And when you look at the Dallas Mavericks team, especially throughout the playoffs and specifically in the finals, a Maxi Kleber wasn't really hitting shots, open shots. You had a Josh Green who was missing shots at times. Guys who played decent defense, but when they were left open, they couldn't score. Even a Tim Hardaway at times, when he came in the game, he wasn't really hitting shots. These are things that Klay Thompson could fix right away. And he's not the defender that he once was. He can still play defense. This also works perfect since they just lost Derrick Jones Jr., who in my opinion was their better, if not best, perimeter defender that they had. Klay Thompson is not a bad replacement at all whatsoever, even if he's not in his prime right now. I think this acquisition will work out even more dependent on how much a guy like Derek Lively improves his game. You still need a balance. This is what I always try to say with the game of basketball. You can't just have a bunch of guys on the perimeter or even just a bunch of inside guys. You still need something that offsets what you already have. That's what made the Boston Celtics so much more dangerous when they had Kristaps Porzingis. You didn't need to rely on just Tatum and Jaylen Brown dribbling out on the perimeter, going one-on-one. You could throw the ball down to Porzingis. Now, based on Lively's game, I don't know how much of a post-up guy he would become. You could already throw the ball to him in the rim. Now, imagine if he develops a jump shot where he can hit open three-pointers, not just somebody living out there at the three-point line. I don't think that will be his game based off what I see. But if he can hit open shots out there with Klay, now you can literally spread the whole floor out where you have Lively at the three-point line, Klay, Kyrie, and Luka all out, and the paint is open if that's the kind of direction you want to go, which is usually how the game is played in this era anyways. And even so, if Lively improves his game, you could even use that as a decoy where, okay, he's out at the three-point line, but because he finishes so well around the rim, works on his touch in the paint and all of that, he could just slash right to the point and get an easy dunk. If teams are so concerned with trying to guard Dallas Mavericks on the perimeter, it also opens up more kick and drives for guys like Kyrie and Luka. There's a lot of things you could do, man. But finally, I want to make a last comparison with Klay Thompson leaving Golden State Warriors. And this one, I don't want people to think I'm reaching. There is differences in it, but there's a little bit of a similarity in terms of Klay Thompson and Ray Allen. I know Dallas is not like the rival to the Golden State Warriors, and Ray Allen left a rival team to the Miami Heat, and that's what made it a lot worse. But it reminds me in the sense that you have two guys in both scenarios who were great shooters, and the teams that they were on that they won at least a championship with, there's a little rift. They don't feel valued as much from what I'm seeing. And you can clearly see that they are willing to take less money in order to go to another team that they could win a championship with, even though their original team could still offer them more, right? So that's something that I would want to keep in mind. Anyways, y'all let me know what you think about the video. Certain little things I broke down with how you could use the Klay in the starting lineup. And overall, do you believe that this could actually work out? How well do you think this will work out with Klay Thompson joining the Dallas Mavericks? I'd love to know. As always, salute for listening. Holla below, and peace.